Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. I needed to tackle a death pile, and a lot of that death pile was stained. So I'm going to walk you through kind of my stain treating process, show you the results. It's not always perfect, but I do what I can. All right, stay tuned. Welcome to my posh room, which is also my laundry room. And welcome to my death pile. So these are all items that are stained, that smell, that need to be washed. I kind of have been waiting to have a big pile together so that I could do a larger load of laundry. So that's why there are so many. I've had some of these in this pile for 8 to 10 months. So here I've separated them into different colors. So this is the bright color pile. This is more of the whites and muted colors, a lot of creams, a bright orange in there too, apparently. And then over here, oh, just kidding, that needs to go over in that pile. And then over here is dark colors or a mix of darker colors. And then these two items have some armpit staining, but they are dry clean only. So I'm going to only stain treat or spot treat those particular areas on those dresses. So then here we are in my bathroom. I'm simply using my bathroom sink, filling it up. I believe this time I did warm water, and I'm using all free and clear. It's free of dyes and scents. I do that. I mean, we use that for our own personal laundry as well, but I use that for posh items in case anyone has any allergies. I fill up the sink. I probably didn't need to fill it up that much, but for video's sake, apparently I did. And then I stick the item in the water and I zhuzh it around a little bit. If I had two hands, I would obviously be doing it a lot more vigorous than I am currently, but you get the idea. Then I will empty the sink and rinse it out, make sure all of the soap is out. I do wring it pretty hard to make sure that all of it comes out. And done. Okay, so this particular item still has some staining. You can see it's yellowing in the armpits. So I'm going to use OxiClean Max Force Gel Stick. I've talked about this before in my reseller kit video. This stuff is really good and it smells amazing. So I add it to the area. I use an old toothbrush and I scrub it in, and I usually let it sit anywhere from 5 to 15 minutes depending on what type of fabric it is. And then fast forward, we are filling up the sink again. We're going to work on the green floral dress that had the deodorant markings on it. So again, fill it up with the same detergent. And then here we have the dress. You can see there's some really bad, not staining, but wear to that area with the deodorant. And thankfully it doesn't smell, it just looks bad. So I'm washing it, rinsing it out. And as you can see, there was a lot of dirt and gunk and grossness in there. There's something about this that's very satisfying. All right, here is the finished-ish product, I mean. You can see most of it went away. And then back onto this other dress. So I let it sit for a while, and now we're going to rinse out the OxiClean. I don't fill the sink for this or anything. I just rinse it underneath the faucet, make sure to wring it out really good, and then I will hang them up to dry. I do hang them up. If it was a nice day, they would be outside, but unfortunately they were in my bathroom because it was cold, and I do put a mat underneath it. Here we have a Banana Republic skirt that has a few tiny little spots. I actually only saw this spot when I was stain treating, but when I got it up under the lights, there were a few more that I missed. So the OxiClean stick gives you some nubbies at the top that you can use to scrub in, which I do initially, but I really do just prefer the toothbrush. You want a soft bristle so it doesn't damage the fabric too much, and don't scrub too hard because you could potentially fade the fabric and it just makes the stain a lot more noticeable. And again, I'll let this sit for 5 to 15 minutes depending on the severity of the stain. Then we have a pair of Loft Paisley linen blend shorts. There's definitely some staining. Looks like someone got some coffee down there. And so here I am putting on the OxiClean and scrubbing it in with the nubbies on top. But I will pick up my handy old toothbrush and I will scrub harder because that stain was really set in. You could tell just by looking at it. It had been there for a while. So work your magic, OxiClean. Work your magic. And I'm going to throw it in the washer. And then we have one more item. It is, it got some self-tanner on it or some makeup. I'm not sure. These are actually the sleeves and they kind of roll up. So whoever is wearing it must have worn them down and had some self-tanner on them. So I'm just using the OxiClean. I do use a liberal amount and just scrubbing it in. Actually, this particular item has been in my death pile for a long time, so it definitely needed some good scrubbing. Here's the Banana Republic dress that had the staining to the armpits. It's not 100% gone, but it's a lot better than it was, and now the inside is wrinkled because I was squeezing all the moisture out, and I will have to steam that just to make it look a little bit better. Here is the green floral dress, much, much better. Again, with the wrinkling on the inside lining, which I can absolutely steam out, no problem, but all that white gunk is gone, thankfully, because this is a beautiful piece. Here is that shirt that had the self-tanner marks and or makeup stains. Most of it came out on the collar, thankfully, and the cuffs look better. They do still have some faint remnants of it, but overall I'm really pleased and actually really surprised that most of it came out due to how long it's been in my death pile. Banana Republic skirt that had the tiny little stains, and it's still there, but it's super, super faint, and you can really only see it when you're close up. So I'm happy with the result, and I will obviously note those stains. Unfortunately, the staining in the loft shorts did not come out. However, I think that if I did a few more stain treatments to it, it would come out, but I'm not going to put the time in for that. I'm just going to list it as is, and the customer can stain treat it if they wish. These pants had a stain, unfortunately, on the buttocks area. It did not come out. It is a lot fainter, but it's unfortunate. I will list it as is. One more piece of advice I'd like to give on washing those clothing items that you have for Poshmark. Make sure that you put them on a delicate or gentle cycle, especially if you have vintage or delicate type fabrics. That way they're less likely to get chewed up in the washing machine. And always hang up your vintage and your delicate items so that they don't shrink in the water or in the dryer. So thank you so much for tuning into my video. If you like what you saw, please give me a thumbs up. Please bear with me in terms of my editing skills. I'm still trying out this whole YouTube thing, and I appreciate that you're hanging out with me along the way. Make sure to subscribe, come say hi on Instagram, or comment below. I'd love to hear from you. And as always, I'll see you in the next video. Bye!